La Yasha. Majim, which means to stand. Upon Hakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer, first in English. First in Hebrew, then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Laba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanlanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabiya Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahataparat, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. Hakak, the power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Kashah, Nathanlanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Lara Pa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matarazak, Salaki, Ha Matazarayim, Ha Hakak, Lahakwayam, Lamatyam, Hakak, Al Rakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarshan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Blessings. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahushua, wa Makaya Allah, wa ala Yahweh Salagi, wa ala Yahayam, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kayalyam, Waha Akwakyam, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Asha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yayan, Salaki, Al-Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Ba'al Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aita, Wa'aid Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83, first in the Hebrew and then in the English. Aliyahayim. Al Damaya Laka. Damaya Laka. Al Takarash. Wa al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Kayanaha. Kayahana. Awayaka. Yawam, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yaira, Yamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Ya'ai Tazawa, Al Tazah, Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakadam, Magawa, Maga, Waya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'ai Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barya, Yakar. Select. Yakaratwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Allah, Aliyah, Salaki. Aliyam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'aimawan, Wa'ai Malak, Palashat, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha'a Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'a Dama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Salaki, Ka'ira, Wakaza Aba, Wakazabak, Wakataza, Wakatazal, Manai, Kal Nasaya Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayasha, Na Yarash, Narasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awat, Alayaham, Salaya, Allah Hayam, Alayaham, Allah Haya, Shayatamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Tabairaya, Ira, Wakahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Taradakma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabahalam, Wala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Aid Ya'aid, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Da'aiwa, Kaya Ata, Shemka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawam, Al Kalha, Arataza, in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together in one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also has joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisir, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zamunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stumble before the wind, as the fire as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. You may be seated. Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK, Louisiana Sabbath service. I'm Priest and Officer of the Thousand Kawan, Yahweh. And we're going to pick up where we last left off. I know we didn't have Sabbath last week, but the last time I taught the week before was we were going over 2 Samuel, the story of King David and his sons and daughter, his son Absalom and Amnon and his daughter Tamar. We were going over how Amnon, the son, one of King David's son, forced himself on his daughter Tamar, his sister. And the brother Absalom avenged his sister by killing Amnon. So he killed his brother in order to avenge his sister for him forcing himself on her and leaving her. He put her away. I believe we stopped at chapter 15, at the end of 15. We're going to pick up at 16 and continue on with the story. And at that point, I believe at 15, King David had gathered, one of the questions that we had was, why didn't King David do anything to Absalom for killing Amnon? Well, no. Why didn't he do anything to Amnon for forcing himself on Tamar, his daughter? That was a question. So I called one of the Adawanyam and asked that question, and this is what he said. He said that the reason that King David didn't do anything, you have to think about the story as a whole in itself. King David had just lost his baby boy. He just lost the baby, Bathsheba's son, the one that he had with Bathsheba, that the Lord punished him with. So, and I was like, Salaki, so Salaki, sir, so would that be additional punishment from the Most High that now his daughter was being raped by his son and thrown away? Would that be considered additional punishment? Well, in actuality, the Lord worketh both the will and the do. But his response was, it wasn't necessarily a punishment. It was the fact that King David was so overwhelmed with what had already happened. The son, what the son did to his daughter, think about it like this, is how he put it. He said, if your son, say for instance, if your son did something to your daughter, or say your son did something to your other son that warranted death according to the law, would you actually kill your son? Would you have enough in you to kill one of your own sons? That's how he put it to me. And I was like, so if it was the law for me, I put his ass to death. But then he was like, but Kawan, you got to think about it. He say, and that's stand up for a brother to be that. You saying that, you know what I'm saying? But in the instance of that happening, you would really take your own son's life? And I was like, wow. Yeah, I really have to think about that, because he said you wouldn't know. You wouldn't be able to just sit here and say, yeah, I'd take his life. You can say that, but when it comes down to it, taking your own son's life, that's a lot. Even Abraham had a time before he was going to have to take Isaac's life. But he said that King David didn't punish Amnon because he would have had to kill him. And I was like, wow, man, that's heavy. I mean, I understand, but good night. So Absalom killing Amnon and then, having to flee and leave, King David didn't want to see his face either, because that's another son you would have to punish. But when King David allowed Absalom to come back, he allowed him to come back to the city, and but he wouldn't meet with him. That's what we ended up toward the end. But Absalom had created a plan to pretty much overthrow King David. So King David is now dealing with the fact that his son Absalom has gathered an army together and is looking to overthrow him for the kingdom of Israel. So King David gathered all his men and all his people and has left the city of Jerusalem. So we're going to pick up on 2 Samuel chapter 16. I'll give everybody just a moment to get there. Again, that is 2 Samuel chapter 16 is where we're going to start. Somebody unplug my thing. All right. So we're at 2 Samuel chapter 16, and we're going to read. And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Ziba, the servant of Mephibosheth, met him with a couple of asses saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 summer fruits, and a bottle of wine. And the king said unto Ziba, what meanest thou by these? And Ziba said, the asses be for the king's household to ride on. Salaki, y'all. Got a little cold. And the bread and summer fruit for the young men to eat. and the wine that such as be faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said, and where is thy master's son? And Ziba said unto the king, behold, he abideth at Jerusalem. For he said, today shall the house of Israel, today shall the house of Israel restore me the kingdom of my father. Then said the king to Ziba, behold, thine are all that pertaineth unto Mephibosheth. And Ziba said, I humbly beseech thee that I may find grace in thy sight, my lord, O king. Beseech just means come to thee, or it's pretty much come to thee. Verse 5, and when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gerah. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord hath returned unto thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. So this is a relative of King Saul. Y'all know that the Lord gave King David King Saul's kingdom, well, the kingdom of Israel from King Saul. So this is one of Saul's relatives, and the city that David and his people just entered into is actually where he lives. So he come out throwing rocks at him. He mad. So he's throwing rocks, casting stones at King David and his company and cursing them out. Salaki again, y'all. He's like, oh, you a bloody man. Because, he feel like he the reason that Saul is dead and Saul's household. So he's cursing them out, saying, oh, now you getting what you deserve because of what you did to King Saul. But the Lord did that to Saul. Saul made his bed because of decisions that he made to disobey the order of the Lord. And that's why Saul had to deal with what he dealt with. But King David, he's being cursed now. He's cursing them out, cursing all his men out, throwing rocks at them all, and just saying, now that's why your son Absalom is reigning in the kingdom that you are supposed to be reigning in, because of your mischief, and you a bloody man. Verse 9, then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. So the man that was with David, the mighty man, Abishai, he was ready to go. He was ready like Peter was ready with Christ. He was ready to go take his head off for talking to the king like that, because David is still the king, even though Absalom is right now acting on the part of being the king by overthrowing or taking over the city. So Abishai is like, let me snatch his head off his neck, sir. Just give me the order. Let me go get him. Let's see what happened. Verse 10, and the king said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, curse David. Who shall 10 say, wherefore hast thou done so? So David, just leave him be, just let him go, man. The Lord allowing him to do that to me. It's okay. Just let him curse me out, man. We ain't got to kill him. it's all right. We ain't even got to do that. Verse 11, and David said to Abishai and to all his servants, behold, my son, which came forth of my bowels, seeketh my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone and let him curse, for the Lord hath bidded him. So he's telling them, King David is explaining to the men that are with him, all his servants and everybody, even Abishai, like, look, man, this guy here, my own son is after my life. Now remember, this was King David when he was when Saul was after him. He had to deal with almost the same predicament now that he was in when Saul was trying to kill him. Now his son is doing the same thing. His son is trying to take his life. So King David telling his servants, like, hey, y'all don't even worry about it, man. Don't sweat it, because the Lord is allowing this brother, this Benjamite, to curse me like that because my son is even trying to take my life. So this brother cursing me out, he ain't doing it. It ain't hurt me no more than what my son is already trying to do to me. My own child is trying to kill me. So I'm not going to be concerned about this Benjamite brother because he's a family member of King Saul or of Saul. I'm not going to worry about him cussing me out because that don't bother me as much as my own son is trying to take my life. Verse 12. It may be that the Lord will look on my affliction and that the Lord will requite me good for his cursing this day. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him and cursed as he went and threw stones at him and cast dust. So he still bothered him. Even though David and them walked off like, man, I ain't studying this dude. Y'all leave him alone. He's still throwing rocks at him, kicking dirt up. Y'all know, because it say cast dust. Y'all know how when somebody is mad at you, they're kicking up the dust. He walking alongside the hill. He throwing rocks at David, them. I'm talking about throwing it at them. Throwing rocks, just following them as they walking up the hill. He's alongside of them, and he just throwing rocks at them, kicking up dirt at them, kicking up dust, and cussing them out, cussing David out. He hot mad about Saul because he's a family member of Saul. Remember, it said he was a descendant or a member of Saul's family. He mad at King David. So he kicking up dust at him and throwing rocks at him. Pissed off, cursing them out. Let's keep going. Verse 14. And King David and all the people that were with him came weary and refreshed themselves there. And Absalom and all the people of the men of Israel came to Jerusalem. And Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass when Hushai, the Archite, David's friend, was come unto Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king. God save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, is this thy kindness to thy friend? Why wentest thou not with thy friend? He asked him, why you ain't go with King David? Is what you coming to do? Is this is how your kindness to your own friend, to David? You coming to me? Why you ain't go with him? Verse 18, and Hushai said unto Absalom, nay, but whom the Lord and this people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide. So he telling him, well, obviously the Lord gave this kingdom to you. The Lord let you be over everything. And the people, whoever the people choose and whoever the Lord choose, that's who I'm going to be with. That's where my loyalty going to lie. So I'm here with you. I'm going to abide with you. Verse 19, and again, whom should I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son? as I have served in thy father's presence, so will I be in thy presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we should do. So he asked him, what do you think we should do with him? Because I don't know if he, he gonna be loyal or if he just here, he on some sneak stuff. He out here trying to watch it and report back to David. What you think we should do to him, Ahithophel? What you think? Verse 21, and Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art a bore of thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. He's saying, go in there and sleep with his concubines. Go sleep with David's concubines. And then all of Israel gonna hear that you hate your daddy. They're gonna know if you go sleep with your daddy's concubines, they're gonna know that you hate your father. Go do that. And then everybody that's against you, they're gonna stand up. And everybody that's with you, they're gonna stand up too. And we'll know who it is that's with us, and we'll know who against us. So let's do that. That's what he's telling him. All right. Verse 22. Verse 22. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. Disgusting. And the counsels of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was if a man had inquired at the oracle of God, so was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. Chapter 17, verse 1. Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, let me now choose out 12,000 men. Out 12,000 men, I will arise and pursue after David this night. So now they're trying to go kill David now. Now he said he's gonna get 12,000 men together and they going to pursue after King David. Now Absalom, he has a straight vendetta to kill his father because he did not avenge his sister Tamar, because he did not do anything to Amnon, his brother, for what he did to their sister. He hell bent on vengeance for his sister right now, and he's taking it out on his father completely. If y'all in the class, Baba Kishar, if y'all would like, share, and subscribe to the class. If you already are subscribed, don't forget to like and share the class. Shalom to everybody that's in the class, the water for tuning in. ISUPK Shreveport or ISUPK Louisiana Sabbath service. We're still reading about King David and Absalom, his son. Now Absalom has gathered 12,000 men to go after and kill his father, King David. Verse 2, 17 and verse 2, 2 Samuel. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid. And all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only. So he said, I don't want to kill everybody. I just want to kill King David. I'm going to kill my father. I only want to kill the king only. Everybody else, I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them run. That's what he's saying. Verse 3, and I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is as if all return. So all the people shall be in peace. And the saying pleased Absalom well. Now this Ahithophel done told Absalom this is what he going to do. He going to kill King David for Absalom. He going to bring it back after he kill him so everybody can see, and then the whole kingdom will be at peace, is what he's saying. Verse 4, and the saying pleased Absalom well and all the elders of Israel. Then said Absalom, call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he said. And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel hath spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak thou. Should we do what he's saying? Or if not, tell us what you think we should do. He testing him. He's basically asking him so he can see, are you for King David? Do you want us to go ahead and go through with the plan to murder him, to kill him? Or do you want his life to be spared? Is that what you're trying to say? Verse 7, and Hushai said unto Absalom, the counsel that Ahithophel hath given is not good at this time. For said Hushai, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chafed in their minds as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field. And thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. He's telling him, look, bro, you finna go fight King David. Do you not remember the stories of him and his mighty men? That King David and his mighty men, they leap over walls, bro. Like you wild and you think you finna just go up on them and just slaughter them out. He telling them pretty much, hey, look, brother, let me tell you something. Don't you not remember Absalom, that your daddy and his mighty men, they like a bear that his honeycomb been took from him. Like you done took something from a bear and you think you just gonna run up on him? He telling him, bro, look, it's not a good time for you, for Absalom, for you to send 12,000 men to try to kill your dad and his mighty men right now, because that ain't gonna be a good thing for you or for them. All right, verse 9. Behold, he is hid now in some pit or in some other place. And it will come to pass when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever heareth it will say, there is a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. And he also that is valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that thy father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. Like, bro, you're not finna go up against no weak dudes. You're talking about your dad weak. You think that they're weak right now, and that they, what did he say in in verse 2, he said that they're weary and weak-handed, and it'll make him afraid. And Hushai is telling him, like, bro, this King David we talking about. We're talking about King David and his mighty men, the same one that killed 10,000 when Saul killed 1,000. We're talking about your father here like you don't know him. You finna try, and that ain't a good thing for you. And his mighty men, they valiant. They gonna be up for the task. Believe that. Verse 11. Therefore I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto thee, from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand that is by the sea for multitude, and that thou go to battle in thine own person. So shall we come upon him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light upon him as the dew falleth on the ground. He's saying, get all of Israel together. You got to take your whole, you're going to need everybody. 12,000 ain't going to do it, brother. And of him and all of the men that are with him, there shall not be left so much as one. He said, if we get the whole army of Israel together, we go kill him and then leave none of them alive. Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we will draw into it the river until there be not one small stone found there. Right? Salakia. Verse 14. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for the Lord hath appointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent that the Lord might bring evil upon Absalom. You're like, brother, you might want to listen to Hushai, because the counsel that Ahithophel gave you, that might not work. That ain't gonna happen. You're gonna bring evil upon yourself. Verse 15. Then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. He's sending the messengers now, because remember, King David sonning those two priests. He sent Zadok and Abiathar back to the priesthood to do the work in Jerusalem, so that they can be as spies to Absalom. So he sent them two back, and Hushai, he sent him back too. And now Hushai giving counsel to Absalom, giving him bad counsel, or counsel that will help King David. And now he's telling the two priests, Zadok and Abiathar, go warn King David and tell him, don't sleep in the wilderness tonight. Go into a good city, pass over that wilderness tonight and go into a good city and hold up. That way you'll be safe, because you'll be overthrown in the wilderness if you stay out there tonight. All right. Verse 17. So like, now Jonathan and Hamaz stayed by in Regal, for they might not be seen to come into the city. And a wench went and told them, and they went and told King David. Nevertheless, a lad saw them and told Absalom. But they went both of them away quickly and came to a man's house in Baharim, which had a well in his court, whither they went down. So they went and hid down into a well, because some jit, it said a lad saw them. They went and told, the wench came and told Absalom, came and told King David them what was up. And the two men that came and brought the message, a jit seen them. Some young boy, a young lad saw them and went back and told Absalom. So now Absalom is hot. They done ran to the next city and got in somebody's well and went down in the well. Verse 19, and the woman took and spread a cover over the well's mouth and spread ground corn thereon, and the things was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the house, they said, where is Amaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, they be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, after they were departed, that they came up out of the well and went and told King David, and said unto David, arise and pass quickly over the water, for thus hath Ahithophel counseled against you. Then David arose and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan. By the morning light, there lacked not one of them that was not gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and got him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself and died, and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. So now he done went and hung himself. That boy, look at here. That boy done went and committed suicide because they didn't follow his counsel. He done went and hung himself. He went and got his house in order, I guess got all his affairs and everything together, and went and hung himself because they didn't follow his counsel. Because Absalom didn't follow his counsel, he followed Hushai's. This boy done went and hung himself. Good night. Verse 24. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son, whose name is Ithra, an Israelite, that went in to Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister to Zeruiah, Joab's mother. So Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass, when David was come to Mahanaim, that Shobai, the son of Nahash of Rabbah, Salakia, of the children of Ammon, so this is an Ammonite, he's Japanese, and Mikar, the son of Amiel of Lodebar, and Barzillai, the Gileadite of Rogelem, brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn and beans and lentils and parched pulse and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of kine for David and for the people that were with him to eat. For they said, the people is hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. Chapter 18. And David numbered the people that were with him and set captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them. And David sent forth a third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and the third part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and the third part under the hand of Ittai, the Gittite. And the king said unto the people, I will surely go forth with you, myself also. But the people answered, Thou shalt not go forth, for if we flee away, they will not care for us, neither if half of us die, will they care for us. But now thou art worth 10,000 of us. Therefore, now it is better that thou succor us out of the city. And the king said unto them, What seemeth you best I will do? And the king stood by the gate aside, and all the people came out by hundreds and by thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Deal gently for my sake with the young men, even with Absalom. And all the people heard when the king gave all the captains charge concerning Absalom. He tell them, don't even try to murder him. He's saying deal gently with him. Like be kind to him. Like don't you ain't got to kill him. Because these are mighty men. Again, like Hushai told Absalom, you're dealing with your daddy. King David is a warrior. He's a man of war. And the men with him, those are mighty men. So the mighty men that King David gave charge to be captains over the thousands and the hundreds, he's telling them when y'all go, man, if y'all run into them, they deal gently with them. Don't put everything you got into it, because he know what they're capable of doing. All right, verse 6. So the people went out into the fields against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim, where the people of Israel were slain before the service of David. And there was a great slaughter that day of 20,000 men. See what I mean? Killed 20,000 of them. 20,000 of them. King David's men did that. For the battle was there scattered over the face of all the country. And the wood devoured more people that day than the sword devoured. I wonder what that means. And I'm going to have to ask that. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under the thick boughs of the great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth. And the mule was and the mule that was under him went away. And a certain man saw it and told Joab and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hanged in an oak. Oh, so that's what it means by the wood devoured more people than the sword. They hung a lot of people that day. That's what they're saying. They hung a lot of people. Good night. They didn't use their sword. They hung them. Treacherous, treason. Good night. So it said, verse 10, and a certain man saw it and told Joab and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hanged in an oak. And Joab said unto the man that told him, And behold, thou sawest him, and why didst thou not smite him there to the ground? And I would have given thee 10 shekels of silver and a girdle. And the man said unto Joab, Though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in my hand, yet would I not put forth my hand against the king's son. For in our hearing the king charged thee, and Abishai and Attai, saying, Beware that none touch the young man Absalom. He said, I don't care how much money you would have gave me. The king said don't touch him, so I wasn't bothered him. You could have gave me 1,000. That boy said he gave him 10 shekels of silver. He said, I don't care if you would have gave me 1,000. I don't care if you would have gave me 1,000, I wouldn't have bothered him, because the king gave me an order to listen. He gave me an order and gave all y'all an order. Nobody touch his son Absalom. Nobody touch him. Verse 13, otherwise I should have wrought falsehood against mine own life, for there is no matter hid from the king, and thou thyself wouldest have set thyself against me. He said, damn, bro, you would have, you gonna come against me because I followed what the king said? You gonna do me like that? Verse 14, then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 darts in his hand and thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. Good night. And 10 young men that bare Joab's armors compassed about and smote Absalom and slew him. And Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel. For Joab held back the people, and they took Absalom and cast him into a great pit in the wood, and laid a very great heap of stones upon him. And all Israel fled every one to his tent. Now Absalom in his lifetime had taken and reared up for himself a pillar, which is in the king's dale. For he said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called unto this day Absalom's place. Then said Amaz, the son of Zadok, let me now run and bear king tidings, how that the Lord hath avenged him of his enemies. And Joab said unto him, thou shalt not bear tidings this day, but thou shalt bear tidings another day. But this day thou shalt bear no tidings, because the king's son is dead. Then said Joab to Cushai, go tell the king what thou hast seen. And Cushai bowed himself unto Joab and ran. Then said Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, yet again to Joab, but howsoever, let me, I pray thee, also run after Cushai. And Joab said, wherefore wilt thou run, my son? Seeing that thou hast no tidings ready. But howsoever, said he, let me run, And he said unto him, Run. Then Hamas ran by the way of the plain and overran Kishai. He ran that boy down. Good night. And David sat between, these got to be black people. This brother ran the other brother down. He wanted to deliver the message to King David. And he like, how you going to tell me I can't deliver the message, but you just tell him to run? Man, you know what? I'm going to tell King David. And ran the brother Kishai down. All right. Verse 24. And David sat between the two gates. And the watchman went up to the roof over the gate unto the wall and lifted up his eyes and looked. And behold, a man running alone. And the watchman cried and told the king. And the king said, If he be alone, there is tidings in his mouth. And he came apace and drew near. And the watchman saw another man running. And the watchman called unto the porter and said, Behold, another man running alone. And the king said, He also bringeth tidings. And the watchman said, Methinketh the running of the foremost is like the running of Amaz, the son of Zadok. So the one that's in the front, that's Zadok. That's Amaz, Zadok's son. That's what he's saying. He recognizes running. And the king said, He is a good man and cometh with good tidings. And Amaz called and said unto the king, All is well. And he fell down to the earth upon his face before the king and said, Blessed be the Lord thy God, which hath delivered up the men that lifted up their hand against my lord the king. And the king said, Is the young man Absalom safe? And Ahimaaz answered, When Joab sent the king's servant and me thy servant, I saw a great multitude, but I knew not what it was. And the king said unto him, Turn aside and stand here. And he turned aside and stood still. And behold, Kishai came. And Kishai said, Tidings, my lord the king, for the Lord hath avenged thee this day of all them that rose up against thee. And the king said unto Kishai, Is the young man Absalom safe? And Kishai answered, The enemies of my lord the king, and all that rise against thee to do thee hurt, be as the young man is. And the king was much moved, and went up to the chamber over the gate and wept. And as he went, thus he said, O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee. O Absalom, my son. So he hurt. Just think about this. Let's just pause for a second and think about this, man. King David is going through serious emotional trauma right now. Like, he told them, y'all don't kill my son. Be gentle with him. Just keep him alive. You can bring him to me. Just be gentle with him. You ain't got to kill him. But Joab got in his mind, I'm going to kill this nigga. I'm going to put these darts through his heart. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to make sure he's dead. When he got the order not to touch him, just like that brother told Joab, like, look, man, I'm not finna touch him. I don't care if you give me 10,000 shekels. You talking about 10 and a girdle. I don't care if you give me what you give me. The king gave me an order, and I'm going to follow that order. But obviously, Joab wasn't following the order. He did what he thought that was best. Now the king is hurt. You know why he hurt? Because that's the third son King David done lost. He lost his son by Bathsheba. The Lord took him. Then he lost his son Amnon. Absalom killed him. Now he's lost Absalom because Absalom tried to overthrow him, but his men disobeyed an order. So what it's looking like, y'all, the kingdom is really falling apart. Everything is really falling apart now. It's these men against these men, and they're all Israel, but they're against each other now because there has been a wedge that's been divided in between them. And King David is losing kids. He's losing heirs, and he is hurt by it. He's like, damn, I said, don't kill him, Up. Now my son, I wish I would have died instead of my son dying. We're going to chapter 19. We'll read one more chapter here. We'll read chapter 19, and that'll be it for today. We'll keep going through chapter 19. If anybody have any questions or anything, y'all can put them in the chat. If I'm unable to answer them, I will make sure that I ask. But this is our history, man. This is what happened to King David and his sons, and it's pretty rough, man, to be able to have to lose 3 sons. That's his 3rd son that he's lost, man. All right, 2 Samuel chapter 19 and verse 1. And it was told Joab, behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people. For the people heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son. And the people got them by stealth that day into the city. They came in quietly. They ain't come in all hype, partying, because they won the battle. They came in quietly. As people being ashamed, steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, "O my son Absalom, O Absalom, my son, my son." And Joab came into the house to the king and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines. So now Joab confront King David. He's coming to King David telling him, like, you ain't here crying, and you done shamed all your servants, all the mighty men and the people that went out to battle for you and killed 20,000 for you and took care of Absalom that was after your life. They done spared you. They made sure your wives all right, your concubines, your sons, and your daughters, the ones that's left. And you done put them to shame by here crying for Absalom. This is what Joab telling the king. Verse 6, in that thou lovest thine enemies and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither prince nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived and all we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. That's cold-blooded now. He said, if your son Absalom, I perceive, I believe, if Absalom would still be alive and all of us died, you'll be happy. Verse 7, now therefore arise, go forth and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night, and that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that befell thee from thy youth unto now. Then the king arose and sat in the gate, and they told unto all the people, saying, behold, the king doth sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, the king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines. And now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. So they talking bad about King David now. And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why speak ye not a word of bringing the king back? And King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar, the priest, saying, speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, why are ye the last to bring the king back to his house, seeing the speech of all Israel is coming to the king, even to his house? So King David, like, I hear all this noise that's going on. They talking about me. Why y'all ain't came and brought me back to Jerusalem, brought me back to my house? Why y'all ain't did that? Verse 12, ye are my brethren, ye are my bones and my flesh. That's a precept for y'all right there. Verse 12, 19 and 12 is a precept for flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. That's a precept to Genesis about the flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. Just remember that if you want to write that down in your precept book. Again, verse 12 from the top. Ye are my brethren, ye are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore, then are ye the last to bring back the king? And say ye to Amasa, Salaki, art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? God, do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before the continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, return thou and all thy servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. So now the men of Judah came to meet King David to bring him back. And Shimei, the son of Gerah, a Benjamite, which was a Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul. So this is the one that was throwing rocks at him. Now he done brought 1,000 Benjamites with him down to meet King David down at the River Jordan. I guess he wants some smoke. Verse 17. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I'll keep reading. Benjamin with him, and Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And there went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household and to do what he thought good. So like it. And Shimei, the son of Gerah, fell down before the king as he was come over Jordan, and said unto the king, let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember that which thy servant did perversely the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. For thy servant doth know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph to go down to meet my lord the king. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, answered and said, shall not Shimei be put to death for this? Because he cursed the Lord's anointed. And David said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel? For do not I know that I am this day king over Israel? Therefore the king said unto Shimei, thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed until the day the king came again in peace. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, wherefore winnest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king, my servant, deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he had slandered thy servant unto my lord the king. But my lord the king is an angel of God. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table. What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? Like, what else can I say? 29. And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, thou and Ziba divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take all, for as much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto us, unto his own house. And Barzillai, the Gileadite, came down from Rogelim and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over the Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king of substance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old. And can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servants taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? You're like, I'm an old man. You ain't got to do all that for me, king. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. I ain't got to have all that. Verse 36, thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king. And why should the king recompensate me with such a reward? You ain't got to pay me back for what I did for you. That's what he's saying to him. Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in my own city and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold, thy servant Chimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Chimham shall go. King answered, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Then the king went to Gilgal, and Chimham went on with him. And all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half of the people of Israel. And behold, all of the men of Israel came to the king and said unto the king, Why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us. He like that. David from the tribe of Judah. He near kin to us. That's why we went and did it. Wherefore, then be ye angry for this matter? You mad because of that? That's what they asked him. Have we eaten at all of the king's cost? Or have he given us any gift? Like, did he give us something? Did he reward us for coming to get him? Why y'all mad at us because we went to get our kinfolk? We went to get King David. But they mad. Verse 43, and the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts of the king in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. So basically, now the men of Israel, they mad because the men of Judah went to get King David. So it looked like it's coming to that point, man. If y'all paying attention to the verses and chapters enough, y'all are seeing that the nation of Israel, this is Judah and Israel bumping heads again. We have had civil wars within our own nation a few times throughout the Bible. Now Israel is mad at Judah because Judah went to get King David to bring him back to Jerusalem. But Israel was the same one who followed Absalom to kill King David, to plot to kill him. They lost 20,000 men fighting against King David's mighty men. But they got a problem with the tribe of Judah or the men of Judah for going to get King David. Man, it's getting heavy, y'all. Lord willing, we continue next week. Amajim, we're going to read the prayers. Amajim, which means to stand. Hapan HaKodam, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to say the prayers to pray out the class. All right. First, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Asha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanlanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwalamyum, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. Hakak, the power, first in Hebrew and then in the English. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shabra, Baba Kashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Ka Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazarayim, Hakak, La Hakwa, La Salakia, La Hakwayam, Hamatyan, Hakak, Al Rakarwa, Hatama'ala, Lagarshan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you, so be it. Blessings. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, wa Maka Ya'ala, wa ala Yaham, ala Yah, ala Salakim, wa ala Hayim, Matazabaya, ala Wap Yahana, ha ala Wapyam, ha Saranyam, ha Kwatazayanyam, ha Kayayalayalam, ha Akwakyam, ha Waha Ya Akwakyam, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, the water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al, Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Asha, Shemayim, wa Aratiza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yamawam, Yamamam, Yahwamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wayarak, Wayarak, Bayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabawaka, Ma'aita, Wa'aid Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is the shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayam, Al-Damaya, Laka, Al-Takarash, Wa Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Awabyab, Awabya Yaka, Yahama, Yawam, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yaira Yamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Ya'ai Taza, Wa, Al Tazapa, one Yaka. Amarwa, Lakawa, Warakakidam, Magawiya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Itazawa, Laba, Lakadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakaratwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wa Shemai, Shalaki, Wa Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wa Hagariam, Gabal, Wa Imawam, Wa I Malak, Wa Musalaki, Wa I Malak, Palashat, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Ashala, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasa, Sarah, Kayabian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nasham Adwa, Nasham Madwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Ka'arab, Wakaza, Abba, Wakaza, Bak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasa, Yakamwa, Ashar, Amawar, Nayarashia, Lanawa, At, Na'awa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawak, Rawaka, Rawaka, Kaash, Tabaira Yaira, Wakal Haba'a, Talahat, Haryam, Khan, Taradakma, Basa Irika, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabaha'alam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kualawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Aid, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya Ata, Shemka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawam, Al Arataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zaid. Yea, all their prince as Zabah and as Zamunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. Forgot to blow the trumpet. Class dismissed.